How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going to battle versus Rod in the OU tier. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. And for any reminders, drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 20k by the end of the year, and I'd love for you to be a part of that journey. So looking at the team, they've got a bit of a Psychic Terrain / Sun team, which is really interesting, with Spike support from Hisuian Samurott and Electivire just kind of chilling there, doing its own thing. So, looking at this matchup, I'd say Enamorus could be useful if we get rid of that Venusaur. Could definitely be useful. We've got to watch out for that Expanding Force. I think Registeel's going to be important for that, and Tyranitar as well. So we've got to keep Tyranitar around. So we're either going to lead with Torkoal or Indeedee, right? So we just lead with T-Tar. Surely that's the way to go. I feel like they lead with Torkoal though, so I don't want to lead with T-Tar because then we'll set it up last. So I think I might lead with Rhydon. Rhydon could be a good lead, and then just kind of go from there. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Rod. So they're going to lead off with Newgate the Great, which is the Hisuian Samurott. That is a really cool nickname, Newgate, for a shiny Samurott. Newgate, if you didn't know, is basically the name of Whitebeard from One Piece. So, obviously, Whitebeard. Got a white beard and mustache. You know, anyway. They probably go for a Ceaseless Edge here. So, I'm going to switch into Blastoise. Blastoise is my physically defensive wall of the team. It's not Shell Smash set or anything like that. And we can easily Rapid Spin away those hazards. They don't have a Ghost type to block it either. So, that's something to look forward to. So, they go for a Ceaseless Edge. We're going to eat that up, surely. Yes, we do. And we give them some Rocky Helmet chip, which is great. So what I can do is I can continuously go for a Rapid Spin here. There's no real harm in it, so I'm going to go for it and get rid of those spikes. Because the last thing I want on this particular team is a lot of spikes on there, you know what I mean? So I think if they get spikes up, they've got 2 layers up right now, but we're going to spin those away real quick. Like so. There we go. Spinning them away. And then get rid of them spikes. There we go. So, perfect. So, now they're probably going to go for another Ceaseless Edge. It makes sense. So, I'm going to go for another Rapid Spin. They do go for another Ceaseless Edge. I really don't want the hazards up on my side of the field. And I can't really foresee Blastoise being very useful this game, because Expanding Force from Armourouge will take it out. Venusaur takes it out. Electivire takes it out. You know, it's one of those things. So, Leonardo's speed is going to raise. Which means this next turn, we're probably going to go ahead and outspeed. So instead of going for a Rapid Spin, because we'll get KO by Ceaseless Edge anyway, I'm going to go for an Ice Beam just to get some damage off. They actually go for a Sucker Punch, which is really interesting. So Sucker Punch comes through, and that means that they don't get the spikes up at all, because we can now bring in a Pokemon that outspeeds them and just kind of go from there. And now we know they're not Choice Scarf as well. We literally can just go into Enamorus, not have to worry about a thing. So there's an Enamorus coming in right now. This baits in one of their Fire types or a Venusaur. So I'm going to go for a Earth Power real quick, just because it'll still take out the Hisuian Samurott. They stay in and let the Samurott go down. So Blastoise does its job as a hazard clearer. There is no more hazards on the field, and there cannot be any more unless the Torkoal has Stealth Rocks for some reason. So in comes Borsalino, which is going to be the Torkoal, nice and shiny. Gotta love it. Gets that Drought up, and we don't want that. We definitely don't want the Sun up. So I'm going to go straight into T-Tar right now. Get that Sand up instead. They may double into their Venusaur right now. Venusaur pretty much stands up to Enamorus, no problem. So I'm going to go into T-Tar and get rid of that Sun. So there we go, withdrawing our Enamorus. Bringing in the T-Tar like so. Get that Sand up on the field instead of this pesky Sunlight. Like there we go. T-Tar is going to be important in this game. They go for a Yawn. Okay, so Yawn is fine. Yawn is fine. So what they may do here is, because they're going to expect us to switch out, right? So they can either double down on the Yawn or something like that. So I'm going to go into Rhydon. And the reason I'm going into Rhydon is because Rhydon deals with Torkoal pretty well anyway. And there is a good chance they're going to go for a Body Press, which is super effective against Rhydon, but Rhydon can definitely still eat it up. But Rhydon also takes advantage of the Sandstorm, getting the boost in special defense that it needs, along with the Violite. It's a really good combination, to be honest with you. So they do withdraw. What do they bring in on the T-Tar? Indeedee. So this is actually not a bad situation either. Indeedee definitely goes down to an Earthquake, which is great. And nothing on the team really wants to switch in on an Earthquake, which is even better. So after the Sandstorm chip, We're going to go for an EQ real quick. And hopefully this will do the trick. So they do withdraw the Indeedee. What are they going to bring in to take an EQ? That's the real question. They bring in Torkoal, Chicharrones, which is going to be the Armor Rouge. I personally wouldn't have brought that in because we go straight for an EQ here. And that cleanly takes out the Armor Rouge. So Rhydon putting in the work once again. Armor Rouge being out of there means my opponent might actually DC. Alright, Borsalino comes in, which is the Torkoal as we know. It's going to get that sun back up. We go straight back into... Or do we? No, we don't need to. We could just go straight for an EQ here because they may go for a Yawn. EQ comes through. Down goes the Torkoal with no critical hit or anything. Rhydon coming through. What an absolute legend. However, this does mean they can bring in Electivire for some reason. And they must have Grass Knot on there or Terra Blast Ground. Ah, they've got an Air Balloon. That's why. Okay, so the Air Balloon is interesting. So I'm going to go for a Heat Crash because we're in the sun and we are heavier than them. They go for a Trailblaze, which does decent bit of chip damage to us and raises their speed. This could make Electivire a big threat. But we go for that Heat Crash, and in the sun, still doesn't do much damage. Rhydon can't be nearly as heavy as I thought it was. But either way, we can go for an EQ now, and we can take out this Electivire no problem with Rhydon. Now they're going to Terra. Are they going to Terra Grass? See, I'm wondering why they didn't bring Venusaur in against Rhydon, but I'm guessing it's because they have Solar Beam. And they know if they go for a Solar Beam... Oh, it's Terra Flying. Interesting. They know if they go for a Solar Beam, we can just bring T-Tar in and make it a 2-turn attack with Sandstorm. So they actually go for a Bulk Up. So they've got a Trailblaze and a Bulk Up with the Electivire, which is very terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. We go for an EQ. Obviously, it doesn't work on it because it's got them balloons on its head. This Electivire just became a threat. Let's go for a Stone Edge. I don't see the point in Terroring because if we go down here, it's not a big deal. Ice Punch comes through. Doesn't do the job. Doesn't do the job. A Stone Edge unfortunately misses. This Electivire is about to take a 180 on us. I think they're better off going for a Trailblaze, to be honest with you. They go for a Trailblaze. That's going to boost their speed even further, which is absolutely fine by me. It does take out our Rhydon. Okay, so what do we do here? So they have Ice Punch. They have Trailblaze. They probably have Earthquake, and they probably have Motor Drive. So we can't Thunderclap them despite them being a Steel type. So, what do we do? I think T-Tar is the way to go. So I'm going to bring T-Tar in. And I'm hoping they don't have Cross Chop. Cross Chop isn't very common on Electivire. It's normally Ice Punch, Trailblaze, Bulk Up, and then Electric type Stab. We've seen all three of those moves except from the Electric type Stab. So I think we're alright. So let's go for a Knockoff because Knockoff will no doubt KO here. They go for a Supercell Slam. Still does over half to us as we go for a Knockoff. And that takes out the Electivire cleanly, which is amazing. So I went for a Knockoff because I knew it would KO, obviously. But I didn't want to risk the Stone Edge missing, which it could have missed. It could have very well missed. So the weirdness does disappear from the field, which is nice. And now they can bring in pretty much anything. Venusaur outspeeds us and KOs us if it's got anything. So Magnus the Peckish comes in, which is the nice and shiny Venusaur. So... do we keep T-Tar around? I think we have to, don't we? So let's go for a Knockoff. They go for an Earth Power. We should be able to take that. Yeah, we can take that. Go for a nice and powerful Choice Banded Knockoff. Taking out the Venusaur in one shot. Which leaves Indeedee in the back. Just waiting to go down to a Knockoff right now. T-Tar coming through for us. So Indeedee comes in. Indeedee comes in. Psychic Surge comes through, which blocks priority moves, which is actually good for my Tyranitar. Not really, because it doesn't really matter, because they don't have any priority move users left anyway. Let's go for a Knockoff. The battle was cancelled, they forfeit, and that is going to be the game. So we made them forfeit, which is nice. It was a potentially terrifying team that we faced against there, with the Sun Sweepers, with Venusaur, and the expanding Force Sweep with Armor Rouge. Especially if it was an Endure Armor Rouge with like Weakness Policy or something. That would have been scary. But anyway, here is the team. Use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.